When my daughter told me to find somewhere else to die, calling me useless, I packed my bags without argument. I had spent decades being the obedient mother. Apparently, the role was over. 3 days later, I sat in a lawyer's office, realizing that my devoted husband had been orchestrating the longest, most meticulous game of chess imaginable. Victoria was about to discover the brutal truth. Sometimes the pawn becomes the queen. If you're watching this, subscribe and tell me where you're watching from. Let me explain how I went from a grieving, homeless widow to a woman holding every card in the deck. Because honey, this story twists harder than a pretzel factory. 2 months earlier, I was Margaret Sullivan, loyal wife of 43 years, mother to one spectacularly ungrateful daughter. When Robert died suddenly at 71 from a heart attack, I thought my world had ended. But Victoria swooped in with designer clothes and predatory concern. "Mom, you can't manage this big house alone," she said, her voice saccharine. "The stairs, the maintenance, the memories, it's not healthy." I should have recognized the calculation behind her words. Victoria had always been Robert's golden child, his little princess who could do no wrong. Once she married Kevin, the investment banker, and started producing grandchildren, Robert lavished attention on them all. I remained the woman who kept the household running, the silent caretaker of his world. After the funeral, Victoria's insistence escalated. She'd bring Kevin to family dinners, cornering me with brochures for retirement communities and glossy real estate pamphlets. "Mom, these places are perfect. People your age, activities, no responsibilities. Translation, no inheritance to split, no inconvenient mother to deal with." The final blow came last Tuesday. I had been living in the house. Robert's house, for 6 weeks, still sleeping in the guest room, unwilling to pack away our shared life. Victoria arrived with Kevin and 2 enormous suitcases. "Mom, we've made a decision. Kevin got a promotion, and we need to move in immediately. This house is perfect for us." I froze. "Move in? But this is my home." Victoria's mask slipped, revealing icy calculation. "Actually, Mom, according to Dad's will, I inherited everything. I've let you stay here out of kindness, but it's time you find your own place." The words landed like a punch. "Victoria, there must be some mistake." "No mistake," she said, cruelly precise. "Dad knew I'd care for his legacy better than you ever could. You never understood money. You were just the wife. Just the wife." 43 years of marriage reduced to 3 words. Then came the final jab: "Find somewhere else to die. You're useless now." I packed in a day. 43 years condensed into 2 suitcases and a small box of photographs. Victoria watched, checking her watch like I was holding up traffic. She suggested a senior complex on Maple Street, affordable, surely with openings. Meanwhile, she was inheriting $33 million. Kevin loaded my bags into their BMW with the precision of someone disposing of garbage. "You'll love your independence again," he said, avoiding my eyes. As the house disappeared in the rearview mirror, irony stung. I had hosted birthday parties, nursed Robert through illness, managed every detail he cared about, and now I was being driven to a budget motel. The Sunset Inn was a typical $49 a night nightmare: thin walls, thinner towels, carpet worn to invisibility. Victoria handed me $200, as if tipping a chambermaid. "This should cover you for a few days," she said. "Kevin will transfer some money once we go through Dad's paperwork." After they left, I sat on the sagging mattress, stunned. In 3 hours, I had gone from grieving widow to homeless senior. My own daughter had discarded me. But a nagging thought grew. Robert had always been meticulous, obsessively organized. He had shown me the will himself. I knew this wasn't how he intended things. The next morning, I found Harrison Fitzgerald, our family lawyer. His office was downtown, a 20-minute bus ride I could barely afford, but necessary. When I arrived, his eyes widened. "Margaret, we wondered when you'd come in. Victoria said you were traveling." "Traveling?" I explained that Victoria had claimed everything. Harrison's face turned grave. "Margaret, that's impossible. Robert's will is clear." He produced the documents. I recognized Robert's signature, neat and unwavering. As he read, the truth emerged. I had inherited the house and 70% of all assets, about $23 million. Victoria, on the other hand, was to receive $10 million in trust, contingent on her treatment of me. The blood drained from my face. Harrison's eyes flashed anger. "Your daughter committed fraud and elder abuse. She's using forged documents. Your husband updated the will specifically because of her entitlement. It hit me. Every dismissive glance, every condescending remark, every attempt to push me into a retirement home, Robert had predicted it all. You're saying Victoria just cost herself $10 million? I whispered. Yes, Harrison said. Now it's yours. And the house. The full inheritance totals $33 million. I felt a surge of vindicated satisfaction. But justice had to be served. Police, banks, a private investigator, Operation Justice had begun. Within hours, accounts were frozen, utilities suspended, and Victoria's credit cards declined. Her call came at 3:47 p.m. Mom, where are you? There's a mix-up with the bank accounts. Hello, Victoria. I'm in Harrison's office. You remember him? Daddy's attorney? Silence. Then. Mom, you don't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly. You forged legal documents and tried to steal from me. I hope you enjoy federal fraud charges. The office became a command center. By evening, Victoria was arrested at dinner, screaming about false arrest. Kevin followed at his office. Forensic evidence traced the forged documents to his firm's printing company. Their plan had collapsed spectacularly. Back in my house, I slept in the master bedroom for the first time in 43 years. Victoria's belongings? Bagged and left on the porch. It was finally mine, and for the first time, I saw the space as mine to shape. Months later, I was a millionaire philanthropist. The Margaret Sullivan Foundation for Elder Protection was funding legal aid, scholarships, and advocacy. Netflix was producing a limited series about my story. Victoria wrote me letters, desperate apologies, but the damage was irreversible. I met her only to make clear, her actions had consequences beyond legal punishment. Then came the shock of all shocks. Robert's files revealed a hidden life, money laundering for organized crime, but he had been an FBI informant for 12 years. Every dollar I had inherited was clean, legally ours. The irony was exquisite. Victoria had tried to steal money she couldn't even touch, for funds she couldn't control. I went to the FBI, laid out the story, wore a wire. Within hours, Victoria and Kevin were caught attempting further fraud and extortion. My revenge had become absolute, legal, unstoppable, and inevitable. 6 months later, I sipped coffee in my renovated kitchen, reviewing my investments with a financial advisor. The house was fully mine. The foundation thriving. I had rebuilt my life, reclaimed my identity, and finally understood the truth. The best revenge isn't to get even. It's to become everything your enemies never imagined you could be. Outside, the sun set behind trees I had planted, on land I had fought for. My past was gone. The future was mine. And if Victoria wanted reconciliation, she would need more than prison letters and hollow apologies. She would need transformation. Real, profound, and total. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and share your story in the comments. Your voice matters.